I'm gonna show y'all how to do this the way I do it. You might have a different way. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Heck, if I'm doing something wrong that you might be able to show me an easier way, I'm willing to learn from anybody. Young, old, it don't matter. But I've learned through the years to soak this in water and it'll keep it from eating you up. Wear gloves. I always start from here and go down. I have this banding tool. I used to use tie wire, but I found that for cheap and bought it. So I mean, I could probably grind this off, but I don't really care. And I'll go over top of this and I'll show you what I do with them too. But get you a good flat surface. If you're doing a full exhaust, it's best just kind of do it in the floor and get you a seat and put some clothes on you don't care about. And this one here is going to be kind of tricky because it's already on the bend. The best thing I can tell you though is make the top look pretty. You won't see the bottom. So stretch it on there. If you can get that first wrap without coming off, then you're good. If it gets a little loose, I just put my finger on it and roll it over and put a fold in it underneath, so you never see it. So it really don't matter. I don't do a lot of this on headers or nothing. I don't really care enough to. I know it eliminates a lot of heat under the engine bay from what I've gathered, but that's my buddy calling. Let's call him back. So don't mind that vibrating there. Alright, so once you get out of this bend, see how that's loose? Put your finger on there and let it fold over, roll it down to it, and do that a couple times. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. You won't even really see it. Pull down on it. Like I say, you want to be pretty firm with it. I don't really care if I get this out of the fender wrapped. I just want to get it near those cold packs and stuff. So once I get done, I might paint that piece there black or something. I don't know. It's gonna look like crap, but that's part of using exhaust I've done had, you know. Save me some money though. That's just part of it. If you go buy brand new stuff, I mean, I'd never be able to make no money on one of these cars, so that's kind of what you're getting. As you can see, I mean, that's going to be facing towards the engine bay, so it really don't matter. I mean, biggest thing is if you get a fold, just or loose rather, just fold it up and push it down and roll on through it. Don't get too picky because it ain't gonna be perfect. If you want it perfect, you can set it off and get it coated. But I'm gonna roll right over that sensor, and when you do that, pull it down real tight because you're gonna take a razor knife and cut that sensor out. Well, the bone, whatever you want to call it. This stuff's hard on your hand. It's starting to get looser on the corner, so I'll fold it right here. I'm gonna fold it on the inside. I'll just roll it over right there and let it kind of pinch itself, and that'll get rid of that. Logan's got a Dodge truck that has been nickel and diming him to death. I told him to get rid of it, but he said he wants to learn how to work on stuff, so I told him to keep it. I've not had much luck out of them unless they got a Cummins motor in them. Take your break, your hands get cramped up. when you're holding this stuff as tight as you can get it. That's the main thing. You don't want it loose now. I mean, you take your time and get it tight. It ain't gotta look perfect, but if it ain't tight, it ain't gonna do you no good. And once it gets to that point, you can either try to keep it rolled up or just go with it. But I like having that round part there. That way I can pull on it and get all the wrinkles out. Might be enough. There's another wrinkle. Just fold it over. Just push it down in there. Do like that. Hold pressure on it. And going down. It'd look better if this was not wrapped all the way to the end, but I don't think I'm gonna get it all. I'll just paint that pipe black towards the end there. Now this banding tool thing was a little tricky there when I bought it, but I might be doing it wrong still. I ain't sure. You can take tie wire or zip tie to hold it until you get everything on there. Trying to find one more up here. Let's see. There we go. Take your zip tie and put it on there for now. Trying to find my other bands. I think about as long as the other ones. I don't know if that's gonna make it. I might have to resort back to the old way there. Yeah, that baby ain't gonna go over. I'll have to do it the old way. Let me get some tie wire. Alright, it's best for this stuff doubled up. Just cut your piece off there. Get it about where it's at. Then you can put it over top of that zip tie, because you can cut it out after you get this going. It's best to go not tie it at the fold. You want to tie it where you're not going to see it. Since this is going to be up here, I'm going to wrap it on around and tie it about right in there. Let's see. Alright, get it crossed. I call these climbs. I think that's what everybody calls them. But I might be wrong about that too. Look, you want to twist them until it gets pretty tight. Now you will break that wire if you keep on them, so just get them kind of close. Then cut them off. And you want to bend that down, because if you don't bend that down, I'm here to tell you, you will scratch your hand up every time you touch this thing. Trust me on that. Alright, now you can break your zip tie or cut it. Alright, that's what you got. I got it wrapped right here. You can put another piece of wire right there if you want, but I personally don't think it's going nowhere. Then, see if I can get this jacked up where you can see it. Two things I told you to carry in the garage. This is one of them. So I usually just go around the outside of this. I used to cut an X in them, and then some of that fiber got down in the threads, and I galled it up a O2 sensor, so I quit doing that. So now I just cut around the circle. Just like it. Like I say, make sure you ain't got nothing in there, because it will gall it up. Alright, then I'm going to show you all the paint for anything like this. The can is about empty, but it's kind of grill paint, I guess is all it is. Got another can, and we'll see if we can get a little something out of this. Oh yeah, just paint that black. Well, it looks halfway decent. Alright, let's set this up over here. Take this right one off and leave the left one on, because you're still going to be touching that stuff. I like turning these clamps where you can't see the nut part of it. Alright, get it snug, and then you want to move this thing where it's not touching the metals. Get it in the center, then tighten her up. For what I told you about that anti-seize, because if you didn't have that, you wouldn't tighten that thing up several times like it. It'd galled up for sure. But here's what you end up with. And that looks a lot better than the way it was. When it comes out right here, I mean, it's black, so all this stuff will blow out of her. There's the bung. Like I say, you don't want that down in the bottom. They don't really like it. It needs to be in the side or the top or something. But that's away from them cool packs now. I might turn that wastegate up so it blows out the hood if it does. I don't really like it where water can get in it. But another trick too, if you got an air hose, when you get done doing any kind of metal work, take an air hose and blow all that metal off. If it sets on there and goes outside, it's going to rust in every little spot. And it's hard to get off. Radiator coming for today, so I'm going to try to put that in there next. I got several alternator brackets. I need to list some. If anybody on here wants to buy some, I got the kind that you gotta use a electric water pump with. I think I got 2 of those, but I ain't never gonna use them. Even for a rear mount, I still use a factory water pump. I think I even had the small block Chevy adapter spacer things for the electric water pump for like a small block you put on the LS. So if anybody needs that, I'll let them go cheap. Or if some kid is trying to build something, holler at me and I'll send them to you. We'll work it out. Also, I got a little metal brake over here. I ain't use it much. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of aggravating, but gets the job done. But if somebody out there young, I ain't gonna ship it, but you know, somebody trying to get started and doing a little something, holler at me, I'll just give it to you. I don't want nothing for it, as long as you can use it. Alright, a little trick before I go lay down and get ready for work. These truck intakes, you've probably seen this 100 times, but I'll show you anyways. Take that sensor or whatever goes right there. It's like might be a vent sensor or some crap, I don't know. 1/2-inch drill bit. Drill it out. Take a regular GM intake air temperature sensor. I usually got wedges. Take them to a little sander and sand that off. Put a little Permatex around them and knock them down in there. They'll hold. I ain't had one of them pop out, but that'll work. Alright, another tip. I call these hog clamps or whatever you want to call them, but that's what these pliers are for. And this type of clamp. When we do fuel injection hose, on a barb, even if it's push lock. We'll put 2 of these on there. This is just a drain hose for the turbo, so it ain't got no pressure. But I still put one on. It's push lock fittings, but I still put one on just to be sure, because something like that blows off and you're looking at a fire. So, but these clamps, they're nice and look a lot better than regular hose clamp. I don't like using them, so. But that's a 90 and a straight to go from that drain down to the pan right there. But those are really nice. You can get kits of them, or you can buy a couple different bags of one size. So I just buy a bunch of them at a time, so I got them. And I think I'm supposed to tell you, if you like this, like and subscribe. And if not, I'm gonna be upset with you. I'm serious.